Thank you for tuning in to another episode of Barcraft Conversations. Because if you don't know, now you know. We have a merchandise partnership with Mo Inc. We even going to do a giveaway for the 100th person that subscribes to one of our platforms. It's on YouTube, Spotify, that's on Apple. So if you're the 100th person that subscribes, we're going to send you a grab bag, hoodies. We got all sorts of stuff. So it'll be a surprise. We'll send it to you. The only thing you have to do is subscribe to the page and DM us. Favorite drink or a place you like to go that you think we should do a Barcraft Conversations at. Because we're also going to be kicking off doing some events. If you want to sponsor something, DM us directly because we are accomplishing a lot with Barcraft Conversations. So if you know a great bartender, let us know so we can feature them, see what they got, see what kind of drinks they mix up. Around the country, around the world. We're not just a podcast where we just sit in one place and we just have guests on. No, it's all about the experience, the atmosphere, and celebrate victories and milestones and good conversation and great drinks. So with that being said, we want to feature more drinks on here because, people asked for it. We was experimenting with the first 3 episodes. Now we're doing episode 4 and we're going to catch up with Les. Since it's the end of the year, we're going to do a double whammy. 2 features on this particular episode. One is going to be a chef at a spot Les put me on to from an app called Too Good To Go. You get a great discount on some amazing food. Make sure you check out that app. They're not sponsoring us, but head over to the restaurant, talk to the chef with Les.
World-renowned chef, Nkosi, Caribbean chef, that is.
I would love to be in the Caribbean right now.
Hey, who wouldn't? So would I. I wish I could close up and go down there myself right now, but you gotta support the people of Baltimore with this good food that I'm cooking.
So you bringing a little Caribbean to the area.
It's hot in here. It's hot in here.
I like the sign. It says good vibes.
Always. People come here and feel like home, so it's definitely a place that you can feel welcome at any day, at any time.
How did you become a chef?
My family's been cooking since I was a little kid. Just about everybody in my family. I actually learned cooking from a great aunt of mine. I stayed with her when my mom migrated to America when I was around 7, turning 8. She worked at a hospital. It was just her cooking for a family of 10. She had 10 brothers and sisters, so it's just this whole large cooking going on every day, or at least every other day for the week, because you got about 20, 25 mouths to feed. So there was never no small portion of food, or like you can cook your own thing. It was just always a big pot. And just being around my older sisters, uncles, aunts, and everything always cooked. They cooked and sold food and stuff like that. So cooking was always a family thing. And I just kind of picked it up. And I remember going high school when I became a vegetarian. It was hard going out and finding everything that you would want that didn't include meat of some kind. Sometimes people steam broccoli and chicken stock. So it's like you had to figure out that or navigate that. And so I started cooking for myself. That same week, I decided to become a vegetarian. A couple of guys in my class had chicken farms. They started to fry chicken and stuff and bring to school for the whole class to eat. And I was like, y'all gonna start this when I become... I'm still doing my due. Other people in the class will eat some of the stuff that I brought. And I was like, oh man, this is good. And word just started spreading, homeboy control down.
What was the first dish that you say that you learned to master?
So I'll say my specialty as far as on the Caribbean side of stuff is definitely, whether it be snapper, kingfish, salmon, like we do feature fried salmon here. A lot of people haven't had fried salmon. It is one of the top sellers here at the restaurant.
What brought you to Baltimore?
Location.
Okay.
I've had 2 other restaurants in PG County, DC area, and I was looking to open back up another restaurant. This particular property's been a restaurant for over 30 years now.
So when you started a Caribbean restaurant in this area, did you find because you guys started in 2023, correct?
Well, 22, but
2022. So starting the COVID, but that was obviously an obstacle in itself.
It was somewhat difficult to a degree as far as permitting. I've done it before, so I kind of was able to navigate it a little easier and open faster than I thought I would.
Did you find difficulties getting people to try Caribbean food the first time or introducing it?
Yes, I would say that. Here's why. Referring to the hospital crowd or the doctors, they're mostly from all over the world.
Yeah.
So when I first opened, I had to create a buffet style so they could actually see what it is they were getting. So I did that for the first 6 months. So people had an idea of what the food looked like, and I served it right in front of them until it just became too much. So I just took it back in the kitchen.
That sounded like it was a great promotional experience, like you said, just to get people to be like, "Oh, try it."
People eat with their eyes. So, once you can see something that looks good, 9 out of 10 times, let me try that. Oh, what is it? So it was a lot of question and answering, at least for the first 6 months of being at this location.
Are you thinking about maybe branching out from this location to?
Yes, I'm definitely looking at some other locations, providing they're feasible. Pittsburgh area, so look out for me, Pittsburgh, and maybe Florida or somewhere else.
I read in things there's a lot of family recipes and stuff. So those recipes that have been passed down, or
I put my little tweak on certain things. Like for instance, and I don't cook with oil.
Okay.
Maybe 9, 10 years ago, I was cooking at home. I realized I had no oil. In the Caribbean, we tend to put oil in a pan with garlic and stuff, burn that before you start cooking your meat. So I just put a little bit of water, and I was like, hey, it's going to be what it be. But it came out just as good like if I added oil. And then as I start reassessing, chicken got oil, goat had oil. Everything has oil in it already. So why am I adding oil to get more oil?
So you just let the natural oils just flow, and it just became.
And so it's become a thing,
all the steps it takes to open a restaurant, and it's a grind.
I would say this. The hardest part about it is really marketing and getting people to come in the doors. And it's an ongoing, continuous thing that you have to do. And you got to look at the return on your investment when you do ads and stuff like that. But even though you do that, you have to be consistent with your food. For a lot of small businesses that don't typically have a reservoir of capital to be sitting on, when stuff breaks, it can hurt you. And you might have to cut certain things to be able to pay for that, and then still try to maintain until you can rebound and make more money to cover all the other expenses. But, it can be hard and it can get dicey. And you just got to be able to know how to pivot when stuff like that happens, to know, well, okay, if we're going to spend this money on this, what it is we can cut, but not sacrifice in taste, flavor, and quantity. Once you can maintain your quality, you should be all right. But trust me, stuff breaks all the time.
Important gem right there that you just dropped.
I used to work at Crossroads in Bladensburg. That was open for about 22 years. I was there for at least 10 or 11 years. I've had it on both sides of the fence, so not necessarily doing it for myself, but doing it for other people, and a couple other places in Atlanta, stuff like that. So I've been around the block for a while.
Down in Baltimore, man.
Yeah,
That's cool.
Baltimore is different.
Yes.
This is what I've noticed, and for anybody who watches this, you can learn something from what I'm saying. Now, I've done social media, all platforms, did not get a positive return on that investment. But what I know works, if I get up and go do hand-to-hand billing, or even put it on cars, at the end of the day, I'm getting 5 to 10 people that will come into the restaurant. If not that day, but by the next day. I've gotten more of a return on flyering and canvassing the area than I've gotten off of social media, or even with some of the influencers who have come and got like 15, 20,000 views. You would tend to think with that much views, even if I got 2-3% of that, I'm doing good. It didn't really get the return I thought I would have gotten based on that. Not saying I'm gonna not keep doing it, but because it's all about spreading the word.
That's one of the things that me being in just the marketing and promotion industry, I always find is important. The social media is cool, but actually getting out and talking to the people is one of the reasons why we doing this podcast.
Okay.
Because it's really about connecting with people. The online stuff is cool, but when you really make connections with people, and people are able to actually experience who you are,
Yes.
it does something different. But it goes hand in hand, because once you do have those people that come in from your hand to hands, and then they tend to follow you online,
Right.
it becomes more of a follow-up than actually willing people in. And that's where I think a lot of people get it confused, because people do have a lot of views, but are your people my people who want to be in this area? You may be big on social media, but you may be big in another state. So you coming
Exactly, right?
so it doesn't equate to real dollars and cents.
No, it doesn't.
And
I learned the hard way, but hey,
Yeah, right.
you know, but you try things as a small business owner because even though certain things work, because you're looking for a bigger and better outcome, you go to different outlets to see about achieving a better outcome. You know, you have to be able to go out there and connect with the people.
so we've done this several times when we went out in the slow. One of us might go out and just start talking to people, and next thing you know, we bringing people in,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Oh," and then they follow on social media.
Yes.
I think that the hospitality part is very important because it's about connection.
There's so many nuances to it that you have to pay attention to that sometimes you overlook, or you tend to think you're going in the right direction, but you might have to take a step back and look and to see if it's really worth your while or worth the investment that you're putting out.
We've been talking about like setbacks and obstacles you came over. Is there anything like you can think of that's just like, okay, like this was a really good stepping stone moment?
Here's my thing. We live in the state of Maryland. Every county, city have so many different rules, which does not make sense to me.
Yeah.
Now, I would tend to think if I was opening a restaurant in Pennsylvania, that what I had to go through in Baltimore, I wouldn't have to go through because I didn't go through it in PG County. Some of the permitting that I had to get for Baltimore City, I never knew that you had to get a permit for some of the stuff.
Yeah.
So I would advise anybody opening up a restaurant in the Baltimore City area, ask them for all the permits that are required. Because the other thing about it is, like, even when I did DC, when you met with the person behind the counter, they told you, they give you a list. You have to have all of this. What is permits and what is not, and what is allowed and what isn't allowed. They don't do that here. It's like I had to learn the hard way.
Yeah, you realize.
I think it was my outdoor seating. I didn't know I had to get a permit for that. Based on Maryland law, when you have an establishment, you're entitled to 5 feet means of egress on the outside. I didn't know I had to get a permit for that in the city. So it was a minor fine, but it was just the fact that
It was a surprise.
because I didn't think I needed to have a permit to facilitate outdoor seating. So, you know, but it's a learning process. And like I say, every city, state have their own, but I was just thinking that since I was still in the state of Maryland, that what I did in PG or Montgomery County would apply for Baltimore City. So it's been a challenge, you know, but, you know, I guess just persevering through it all. I hope I continue to succeed at what I'm doing. So
It sounds like you have a passion growing up, family, community, and, you know, your journey just even through your diet has helped you be able to cater to many different people and different eating styles. To me, it says a lot.
I started a journey which was maybe 4 months prior to opening this restaurant. I learned about The Secret. And I don't know if y'all have read the book. I'll recommend you Following Up and Falling. The formula to succeeding in anything in the sense of being one with the universe and understanding the process and stuff that it takes to be successful in every aspect. Being able to practice some of those things, because once you have the information, it's up to you. Are you going to use the information? Because a lot of people have the information and don't ever use the information, you know, because they still tend to depend on what they so know on a regular. You know, it's like riding a bike. Because you've always been negative, it's hard for you to turn around and be positive. As much as you may have the know-how how to make money, but do you have the drive, will, and understanding that what you have to constantly do to make that money? Because, you know, people get comfortable in their situations, in their life situation, and not willing to make the sacrifice to change, because it is a change. People don't like change.
And like you said, the biggest thing is applying what you learned. It's like you learned it, but you have to go out and actually test it into the real world to see what works for you in different environments.
When you read more and you get more into successful people, you don't chase the money. The money will come. Just do what you're doing to your best ability, and the money will come. It's going to be challenging. Hey, ain't nothing in life without a challenge. Well, when it gets challenging and you give up, that's when you need it to keep going. Because that's when the breakthrough was right there, but you choose to give up.
When those doors open, are you ready?
If you stay ready, you have to get ready.
So how can they follow you, get in touch with you?
Follow us on Instagram, Caribbean Dynasty. We're at 647 West Pratt Street, downtown Baltimore on Pratt Street.
We appreciate the time, man. All the
I appreciate y'all.
And you know, if you don't know now, you do know. And
Now you know.
it's a hidden gem. I won't even say hidden gem. It's a gem.
It's a dynasty.
Dynasty.
I like that. I like that. It's a dynasty. So come to Caribbean Dynasty, 647 West Pratt Street. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure.
No doubt.
We got my man's pots and pans. We go way back like spinal cords and baby seats.
Here's a funny start to our stories here. Story time. How I was introduced to you was my sister came home crying one day. And my mom's like, "What's going on? What's up?" She said, "I got put in a trash can." I'm like, "Excuse me, what?" And she told me that like last period, you know, the bell rings, everyone's going out to the bus, and it's a mad rush out of them Chesapeake hallways. You know Chesapeake. Yeah, Chesapeake hallways is a mad rush. And she said you grabbed her book bag, drug her back through the crowd, lifted her up, put her in a trash can.
And then just disappeared in the crowd. And disappeared in the crowd. Disappeared.
But the trash can was up to here on it. She couldn't
Get out, so you had to fall over.
story. She said she jumped. She jumped to a locker bank. Morgan strong. She's strong as shit. Especially back then, bigger, faster, stronger. She was benching more than the guys back then. She grabbed the goddamn lockers and lifted herself out of the trash can. Missed her bus, came home late. It was a whole thing. And that was my introduction to Les. I was like, I want to meet that guy because he made my sister cry and I love him for that.
Long time.
That was a long time ago.
Colin Cluster, the inventor of the clusterfuck, one of the best bombs in Baltimore. There we go.
Did invent that. Did do that.
Yeah, no, me and his sister were best friends. We still are best friends. Him and my younger brother were best friends.
Yeah. So I got introduced to Kendall through football. We were in 8th grade. We started playing football, Panthers, like you said. He said, "Yeah, I think you know my brother Les." And I said, "Les Emerson, not the Les." I said, "Les is more? Not that guy." And me and Kendall became really good friends. But you went off to college and I didn't see you for years and years and years and years. I started working at Pickles. And you were bar back in there at the time.
I remember you came in and I was like, "Oh, my man Colin in the joint." Yeah. It was cool.
So we kind of rekindled that relationship. That was cool. But I remember the first time we got real tight when I was like, "Oh shit," that like, kind of like that Step Brothers moment where like, did we just become best friends? It was my first summer back from college at Coastal Carolina. So I hit up Morgan, who worked at Pickles, and I was like, "Hey, like, I kind of need a summer job, like, for school, and like, I want to save up some money before I go back." And she's like, "I'd probably get you in a Pickles." So back then in the day, people used to come in and they started at the bottom of the chain. Yeah, nowadays it's a little different around there nowadays. Some people come in and they just run shit. It's like, whoa.
Run to draft run to bar back to serve. You had to go the whole step.
And it would take like 3 summers before you even saw a bartending shift.
It's so long.
So long. Anyway, so I started as a food runner and Les comes in, roundabout. Weaving. I'm doing the weave. Bringing it back. I was food running. Les comes running in the kitchen. He's like, "Colin, I need your help."
Like, oh, you're talking about the bottle store. Yeah.
So I'm like, "All right, let's go." I'm always down to help. I'm ready to do some stuff. I'm like, "All right, let's do it." He's like, you gotta keep a secret though. And I was like, they call me young secret holder. I never told a secret. He was like, "All right, come here." We round the corner. If anyone's ever been to Pickles, they know the upstairs, the stairs going up to the disco bar. We step in that little hallway there, because back in the day it wasn't open like it is now. They had cut out that wall. It used to be a skinny ass hallway up the stairs. And I step there, I see stuff dripping down. Like, what the hell happened here? This man, Les, was bar backing, had a full tub of probably 15 liquor bottles at least. 15. I'm talking Grey Goose.
Bro, it was so much.
Grey Goose.
And the way I dropped it was, it was everything. Hennessy. It was like, I probably dropped, or I can't get in trouble for it now, but I clearly dropped. It was a lot of liquor. Oh, yeah. Like
statute of limitations.
1,000? Yeah, it was over a grand.
But bro dropped over, no, it's at least 2 grand worth of bottles.
I'm trying to, just in case at the time, but it was bad.
Dropped the whole case of liquor down the steps, and he was like, "We need to clean this up before any of our bosses see it."
Yeah, bro. I said, I'm about to get fired.
So me and him banged out that cleanup.
Clean the ball of this glass.
Oh man.
But that's when I found out, though, that the cameras was not working up there. Because if they would have saw that, I would have been fired.
100%.
I dropped,
100%.
man. Didn't say nothing, stuck
one
it back
ever found out
up.
about
Nobody ever said nothing.
Until this podcast, we have never told this story live to anybody. We took that thing to the grave. We did. And that was mine. I was like, that's when I was like, man, I just got this man out of some shit. First of all, I want to get a promotion real soon. If he's got anything to do with it, put a word in for me. But nah, I was like, all right, that's when we're going to be cool after this. And then from there, it just kind of developed.
That's when we...
Pretty much, like when I moved to the city, you kind of took me under your wing and kind of showed me the ropes.
The ropes and we was...
Pickles has my heart and soul. I love that place. Tom, our lovely boss, one of my favorite guys in the world, still is. He's a great guy. Wild card, but great. We came from Pickles where like it's 110% and it's structured, yeah. So we come from this vibe of like grind hard, like work hard, play hard type atmosphere where like you grind for your 8 to 12 to sometimes 18 hours if you're bar backing. You grind, but then you get off, you have a pocket full of money, and we have so much fun. Pickles, when we first started working there, had the elite staff. Coming from Pickles, which is a dry bar I never drank at, I never knew what it was like being drunk as a bartender until Riptide. And then we would just get hammered.
Yeah,
but we also
good though. But we would get...
Because we were about our money. At the end of the day, when you work as a bartender, a lot of people get the money, like the work and the play, misconstrued, and they meld them too much. When I'm at work, I'm there to make money. You got to be attentive. You got to know what you're doing. You got to serve the customers, and you got to make the money. That's the name of the game. We're here to make money, dude. And we would make so much money. We did. We made money. Yeah, listen, we could go here trading stories for 17 more hours if we wanted to. But we got to go to Canton and get some drinks. More soups.
We
do.
We got more soups.
So I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you bringing me on.
And appreciate chopping, man. Maybe come back again. We can do it again, touch a little more.
Like I said, we have plenty more stories
I'll
back
get my pores a little better too, so that way it's nice.
You got some work to do next time I come back.
I was throwing the football yesterday.
Hey, my guy. Love that.
I'll do my thing.
Peace.